Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to IELTS Speaking Eloquence. This is me, 𝗁𝗲𝐿. I'm from 𝐂𝐴𝐴 Academy. So yes, I'm back with another part 2 and part 3 discussion for you guys, where we will be looking into the vocabulary, the words that you can use to describe the question or explain certain points, and also how to answer your opinion-based questions as well. So I have prepared a sample answer for each of these things, one sample answer for the part 2, and then I have prepared 7 different opinion-based questions, and you can see the sample answers for each of that too. Okay, so we will be discussing this together, and what I want you guys to do is to be prepared with a book and a pen handy so that you can make notes of all the points that we are going to discuss today. The way you can use certain words. Choice of words is always very important when it comes to IELTS speaking. You need to have a good proficiency there to explain your idea in the right words, and that has to be in a little bit more of an advanced state as well. So you need to know what are the synonyms you can use, what is a good word that you can put in that place. So you need to have a proper understanding of how you would be going to speak. So yes, let's start with the live session. So I hope all of you are having a really good time. So yes, let's begin with the live. So you will be able to see the slide on screen now, and you can see the first slide, which is our cue card. Yeah, describe a job you would like not to do in the future. What is the job? Have you heard about it? Why you don't want to do it? How you feel about the job? Okay, so these are the sub questions you have for this particular question or cue card. So I'll give you 1 minute time. I want everyone to go through this and organize what are the points you're going to expand. Okay, so your 1 minute starts now. Okay, so I hope you guys have planned what your topic would be and to expand each of the sub questions as well. So now let's proceed with the sample answer. So I'll show you how you can start your introduction here. So it is something like this. Every job comes with its own risks and problems. Having said that, we can't ignore the fact that every job has its dignity. However, I wouldn't want to pursue certain careers in my life for various reasons. Some because I lack the skill or talent for them, some because I feel they are not well paid, and others because I believe I may not excel in them. But there's one particular job I wouldn't want to pursue in my life, and that's acting. You see how well it's structured, how well the plot is being played there. You're giving your introduction line, your intro line. After that, you're explaining or giving a brief about your perspective of how you look for each job, like how you value each job as well. So you're explaining your perspective there, and then you're coming to your main point. You're not starting with saying, thank you for this opportunity, let me talk about this, or no, I would like to talk about this. No. Stick on to a very professional and academic way of doing this. This is a very neat execution of how you can start your introduction here. So let's go through this one more time. Every job comes with its own risks and problems. So I'm just starting with a general statement like every job has its own risks and problems. Having said that, that's a very good usage. Okay, that being said, or having said that, we can't ignore the fact that every job has its dignity. However, I wouldn't want to pursue certain careers in my life for various reasons. I have many reasons for that. Some because I lack the skill or talent. We're not just telling that I don't like that job because I don't actually see myself enjoying that job. എന്നൊരു ആസ്പെക്റ്റിൽ മാത്രമല്ല നമ്മളോട് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. We are being very much neutral, and we are trying to say because I lack the skill or talent for them. Some because I feel they're not well paid, and others because I believe I may not excel in them. But there's one particular job I wouldn't want to pursue in my future life, and that's acting. So now we started explaining what is the question. Okay, the question endaayirunnu, it's a job that you don't want to take in future endaayirunnu. So ippozhanu nammal aa answer like varunathu. Okay, so this is how a very simple yet elegant introduction will look like. So now let's proceed to the body paragraph. I have been watching actors and movies since my childhood, and I totally admire that profession. I love actors, but I wouldn't want to be one for a few reasons. So I started by saying I have been watching actors and movies since my childhood, and I totally admire that profession. There is nothing wrong with that profession, but it's just that I don't see myself doing that profession. Adinte reasons aanu nammal parayan pone. I love actors, but I wouldn't want to be one for few reasons. കുറച്ച് കാരണങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് I don't want to be an actor. Firstly, I don't have the talent for it. So we are agreeing that this is the main thing. I don't have the talent for it. I don't think I'm a good performer. That is my first explanation. Secondly, your privacy will be questioned. Your privacy will be questioned. Also, the fact that I may be criticized and commented on by thousands or millions of people scares me. Okay? The fact that I may be criticized and commented by thousands or millions of people actually scares me. I can't handle criticism, so I'm not sure how I will manage it. Okay? I can't handle criticism, so I'm not sure how I will manage it. It's scary to think that a job that you do wouldn't just stay with you, but would go out to the entire world. Okay? Having said that, it's a great profession where you can entertain a lot of people and be loved by everyone. If it weren't for my fear of criticism and lack of confidence, I would have given this profession some thought. But at this particular point in time, my fear overrules me. Okay, that's very good usage. My fear overrules me. And that makes me believe that acting would be a career I would never want to pursue. So this is my body paragraph where I am trying to cover most of the sub-questions that I got in my cue card. Okay, this is how I'll be doing it. So just let's read it together. I've been watching actors and movies since my childhood, and I totally admire that profession. I love actors, but I wouldn't want to be one for a few reasons. Firstly, I don't have the talent for it. I don't think I'm a good performer. Secondly, your privacy will be questioned. Also, the fact that I may be criticized and commented on by thousands or millions of people scares me. I can't handle criticism, so I'm not sure how I'll manage it. It's scary to think that a job that you do wouldn't just stay with you, but would go out to the entire world. Having said that, it's a great profession where you can entertain a lot of people and be loved by everyone. If it weren't for my fear of criticism and lack of confidence, I would have given this profession some thought. But at this particular point in time, my fear overrules me. And that makes me believe that acting would be a career I would never want to pursue. So this is my body paragraph. So now let's look into how I'm going to conclude this speak. Okay, so let's see. എങ്ങനെ ഇത് നമുക്ക് കൺക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, ഈ ഒരു സ്പീച്ച് എങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഒരു ക്യൂ കാർഡ് പ്രസൻറ്റേഷൻ എങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് റാപ്പ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം എന്ന് നോക്കാം. I feel that acting is a job where you will have to work at different times. The shoot might be scheduled at night or early in the morning. It's not like the typical 9 to 5 jobs, and I can only work during certain times due to some health conditions. Above all, you have to take care of your body and physical appearance, and I am not good at it. I hate wearing makeup, going to the gym, etc. All these things make me feel like this is not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea means it's not meant for me. Okay, so this is how I'm going to wrap my entire conversation or entire presentation. Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone. So let's just go back to the first slide. So I'll be just giving you some time to read and grasp the idea and how I have constructed statement there. So I'll just show you the first slide, then the body paragraph and the conclusion paragraph as well. So just go through that and please read it so you will get an idea of it. Okay, so yes, you can have a look at the introductory paragraph. Okay, so please start reading. Alright, so I hope നിങ്ങൾ നല്ലോണം ഇതെല്ലാം വായിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. The first part, the second part and the third part. എങ്ങനെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനെ വളരെ സിമ്പിളായിട്ടും പക്ഷേ നല്ല യൂസേജിലൂടെയും നല്ല സെൻറ്റൻസ് കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസിലൂടെയും എങ്ങനെ പ്രസൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം എന്നുള്ള ഒരു സാമ്പിൾ നമ്മൾ വായിച്ചു അല്ലേ. സോ ദാറ്റ്സ് ഓൾ വിത്ത് ദി പാർട്ട് 2 ഡിസ്കഷൻ. സോ നൗ ലെറ്റ്സ് മൂവ് ഇൻ ടു പാർട്ട് 3. So I prepared 7 different questions for you guys. First I'll show you the question. I'll give you some time. For the examination you don't get this time, but since we are preparing, since we are brainstorming the ideas and preparing yourself to be ready for the examination, I'll give you some time to brainstorm. ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ടോപ്പിക് വന്നാൽ എന്തൊക്കെ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റും എന്നൊന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കാനായിട്ട് കുറച്ച് സമയം തരാം. After that I'll show you a very simple opinion sample answer for you, and then we will proceed to the next question. Okay? So here is your first question. Please go through the question and think of the ideas that you can explain here. Alright, so I hope you guys have brainstormed some ideas. So now let's see a sample answer for this. So this is one of the sample answers that you can consider in this situation here. Youngsters nowadays choose careers that require less physical labor as opposed to jobs like agriculture, which demand a lot of physical labor. Additionally, with living expenses on the rise, there is a greater preference for highly paid jobs. So if you look at this, you can see that the entire idea was just said in 2 sentences. You need to give out a little more information. Anyhow, this is just a brief explanation about how you can put forth your answer, okay? This is not the entire full answer, but what I'm trying to show here is a brief or a gist of it. Like ഇതുപോലത്തെ question വന്നാൽ ഏതൊരു point നിങ്ങൾക്ക് brief ചെയ്യാം. ഏതൊരു പോയിന്റ് ആയിരിക്കും കുറച്ചുകൂടെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എലാബറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തൊക്കെ അതിനെപ്പറ്റി സംസാരിക്കാം എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഐഡിയ ആണ് കേട്ടോ. സോ വാട്ട് യു ക്യാൻ ഡു ഇസ് വെൻ യു ആർ ഗിവിംഗ് യുവർ ഒപ്പീനിയൻ ബേസ്ഡ് ആൻസേഴ്സ്, ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് an example to support it, it will be really good. So you can just speak about an example, and then it will also extend a little bit more of an explanation as well. So this is one of the answers you can give for what kind of jobs do young people prefer. So you can say youngsters nowadays choose careers that require less physical labor as opposed to jobs like agriculture, which demand a lot of physical labor. And then you can list down those jobs as well. You can talk about how people like to be influencers these days. You can talk about how people are into, white collar jobs or IT jobs, or how people are migrating abroad and trying to find white collar jobs there. So you can actually elaborate those points by listing down the ideas you have about it, okay? So yes, that is how you can go ahead with this question. Now, let's look at the second question. You'll be able to see the second question on screen right now. So second question is, some people will lose their jobs because of technology. How to deal with that? This is your second question. I'll give you a few minutes. Think about some ideas. Think what will be a possible answer here, or what could be explained here. Alright, so now let's look into the sample answer. Something like this. I think it's a responsibility of the government to ensure that they find ways to address such situations where people become jobless because of technology. They can find ways to create more jobs for people or skill them in technology. This is some point. Some people will lose their jobs because of technology. So they just said a statement. So they're not asking you do people lose their job because of technology? അങ്ങനെയല്ല നമ്മുടെ question വരുന്നത്. Some students can kind of like misunderstand this question and they will start answering yes, a lot of people lose their job due to technology and things like that. So ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ question is how to deal with it. അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ main question. Your question is not about will people lose their job because of technology, it's about how to deal with it. So you're going to say how you can deal with this situation. That is what your question is, right? So അത് പോയിന്റ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്ത് മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. സോ പെട്ടെന്ന് കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ചാടിക്കേ ഓക്കെ ടെക്നോളജി കാരണം ജോബ് പോകും എന്നാണല്ലേ ക്വസ്റ്റൻ എന്നും നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കരുത്. യു ഹാവ് ടു ലിസൺ കെയർഫുള്ളി. ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റൻ വരുന്നത് അങ്ങനെ പോകുന്നതിനെ എങ്ങനെ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യാം, ടെക്നോളജി കാരണം ജോബ് പോകുന്ന ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനെ എങ്ങനെ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യാം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റൻ അല്ലേ. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഹൗ I have explained here. I think it's a responsibility of the government to ensure that they find ways to address such situations where people become jobless because of technology. They can find ways to create more jobs for people or skill them in technology. Okay? So now let's move on to question number 3. Will you settle down in another country? Okay, this is a very interesting question, right? So please think about what is going to be your answer here. What could be a good answer here? Okay, let's look at the sample answer here. I don't think I will establish roots in another country. While I may work in other countries for a while, ultimately I will return to my homeland. I believe that no matter where you go, you will always be considered a secondary citizen. True belonging and a sense of home can only be found in your own country. Okay, so this is how you can very elegantly answer to this question. I don't think I will establish roots in another country. So you just answered your question, like will you settle down there? You just said I don't think I will establish my roots in another country. While I may work in other countries for a while, ultimately I will return to my homeland. I believe that no matter where you go, you will always be considered a secondary citizen. True belonging and a sense of home can only be found in your own country. Okay, so that's how you will answer this question. So now let's move on to question number 4. Your question number 4 is like this. How do young people today decide their career? How do young people today decide their career? So this is your 4th question. So think about some ideas or things that you would know to add to this question. So yes, I'll give you a few minutes. Just go through that and plan it ahead, and then I'll show you my sample answer. Okay, so now let's look at this sample answer here. It goes like this. Youngsters these days are very smart. They choose their career paths based on factors such as their love and passion for the job, their aptitude, and the salary offered. They are not willing to pursue jobs in which they have no interest, nor are they willing to be taken advantage or exploited. Okay, so this is a very simple and direct answer. Youngsters these days are very smart. They choose their career paths based on factors such as their love and passion for the job, their aptitude, and the salary of it. So I truly understand that there would be some other options or some other explanations that you would like to add here. I can give you another sample answer too, so I'll just read it to you. Young people today decide their careers through a combination of factors and influences, including personal interests, educational experiences, parental and peer influence, job market trends, and access to career guidance resources. Okay, so this is also another point that you can add when you get a question about what influenced people to select a job. It can be personal interest, educational experiences, parental and peer influence, job market trends, and access to career guidance resources. Okay, this is one type of an answer that you can add here. You can also speak about media online resources, work experience, mentorship and networking. Then you can talk about personal values and goals. These are all extra points that you can add in this context. So always remember, your answer can have no limit. Like there are vast different topics or vast different ideas that you can add to this particular question. Okay, എല്ലാവരോടും നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒരു ചോദ്യം ചോദിച്ചാൽ എല്ലാവരുടെയും അഭിപ്രായം ഒന്നായിരിക്കണം എന്നില്ല, പല ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ആൻസേഴ്സ് വരും അല്ലേ. സോ തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് ദി ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് റെലംസ് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ്. തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് ഓക്കെ വാട്ട് ക്യാൻ ബി ദി ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ആൻസേഴ്സ് ദാറ്റ് ഐ ക്യാൻ സേ ഹിയർ ടു. എന്തൊക്കെയായിരിക്കാം പലരും പറയുന്ന പോയിന്റ്സ്, അതിൽ നിന്നൊക്കെ ഇൻസ്പയർഡ് ആയിട്ട് യു ക്യാൻ പിക്ക് അപ്പ് സം പോയിന്റ്സ് വിച്ച് യു ഫൈൻഡ് ആർ സെൻസിബിൾ ആൻഡ് ദെൻ യു ക്യാൻ കണക്ട് ഇറ്റ് വിത്ത് യുവർ ആൻസർ. ഓക്കെ, so that is how you can answer this question. So now let's look into question number 5. Which do young people generally prefer? Boring jobs with higher pay or interesting jobs with lower pay? This is also a very interesting question. So I'll give a few minutes. Just go through this and try to find a really good answer for this. Okay, so I'll show you a sample answer. Young adults nowadays prefer engaging jobs with lower salaries over tedious jobs with generous compensation because they understand the importance of working with passion. They believe that working and earning money should contribute to their happiness, and if they are not content in the process of earning money, then what's the point? Therefore, they opt for jobs that they can wholeheartedly pursue even if they are not highly paid. Okay, this is my version of this explanation. I'll give you another sample answer too. We can speak like this as well. Young people today generally prefer interesting jobs with lower pay over boring jobs with higher pay, as they value job satisfaction, personal fulfillment, and work-life balance more highly than previous generations. While financial stability and higher pay are important, many are willing to accept lower salaries for roles that engage their passions and offer opportunities for growth and development. However, this preference can vary based on individual financial responsibilities, career goals, and economic conditions, with some prioritizing higher pay to achieve financial security or to pay off student debt. So this is how you can go ahead with this answer. You might have the opposite answer too, like you might feel like people, they consider their emotional, their financial requirement, and even if their job is boring, most of them go for high paid jobs. എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിന് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പറയണമെങ്കിലും that is also fine. Okay, but make sure you have a proper explanation to as in why you said that. എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾ അത് പറഞ്ഞു എന്നുള്ളതിനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് കൂടെ ആഡ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. Okay, now let's look at question number 6. Your question number 6 is like this: which do you prefer, physical work or work involving thinking? What do you think, physical work or work involving thinking? Think about that answer, please. Okay, so I hope you guys have thought about it. Now let's look at the sample answer. I choose intellectual labor over manual labor because I feel I'm not suited for work involving a lot of physical exertion, nor am I interested in it. Additionally, intellectual labor is more comfortable and better compensated. Okay, so this is a very simple and a very direct answer that you can say in this particular question, or you can even elaborate it like this too. I prefer work involving thinking because it provides mental stimulation, allows for creative problem solving, and offers opportunities for intellectual growth. Engaging in tasks that challenge my mind keeps me motivated and interested, and I enjoy the process of coming up with innovative solutions and ideas. Okay, so that is how we can go ahead and answer this question. So now let's look at question number 7. Do you think today we have less physical labor than we did in the past? Okay, think about the points that you can add here as a sample answer. I will be showing you that too. So think about what you can add here in this question. Okay, so I'll show you the sample answer. We experience comparatively less physical exertion now than before. I believe this is due to technology. It has made many jobs easier, and with automation prevalent in almost all industries, People no longer have to engage in as much manual labor except for controlling machines. While this trend has its benefits, it also has drawbacks. So this is how I'm going to answer this question. I can also give you another sample. I'll directly start by saying yes. I believe we have less physical labor today than in the past due to advancements in technology, automation, and machinery. These innovations have significantly reduced the need for manual labor in many industries, such as manufacturing, agriculture, and construction. Additionally, the shift towards a more service-oriented and knowledge-based economy has increased the prevalence of jobs that require cognitive skills over physical effort. This transformation has led to improved efficiency and productivity, though it has also brought challenges related to job displacement and the need for new skill sets. Okay, so that is how we can answer that question too. So always remember, you need to have a clear-cut understanding of what exactly is the question, and you need to have a clear picture of what you're going to answer as well. Please don't blabber. If you blabber and if it is evident that you're searching for the idea or even the next word, you will lose the score. So always make sure you're really prepared and with the expected questions, and you have a proper answer for these questions too. You have a good vocabulary set, you know, okay, so if this is my question, these are the types of answers I can answer here, and these are the set of words that I can use here too. So always be prepared like that. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope it is clear for you guys, and you guys have a clear understanding about the words and the usages and how you can answer these questions too. So I will see you guys next Wednesday at 10 a.m. with another part 2 and part 3. Until then, take care and have a